You know, the funny thing about being creative is that we don't really know where all this creativity comes from. We don't even know what causes interest. But specifically, there's a phenomenon with writing, which is pretty wild stuff. Now, I did a little writing myself. And quite often, people who write will come to this conclusion where they don't really know where the stories come from. In fact, when you're in the zone, it feels like you're just sort of like having the stories flow through you. It's not really something that you're actively in control of. And this makes me think of the idea of spirit writing, which is where a person, you may have seen it, I think it's called psychomancy, something to that effect. But anyway, in spirit writing, a person will be like drawing in a circle on a page, and all of a sudden their body sort of responds automatically, begins writing words. It was good enough to be used in the Stargate program. So, if that's the case, you got to wonder, because with remote viewing, the way it works is that they give you coordinates. They give you these coordinates that the person giving you the coordinates don't know what they are, and you know what they are, or you don't know what they are, so you just begin to sort of draw or write whatever comes to mind, which is a lot like how writers actually function. So maybe writing, when you sit down to write, it's actually kind of a form of remote viewing. And that would explain how the book, The Voyage of the Titan, was written. The Titan, this book was written before the Titanic sank, but it seemed to almost be a prophecy. There was way too many very close approximations, names, size of the ship, everything, how it sank. It was this ship that was on its maiden voyage. It's one of those events that everyone's like, whoa, how did that happen? But when you consider that what spirit writing is, perhaps even what Ouija boards are, and even how people write, you're reaching out through your mind, the only thing we know of that can actually bridge dimensions, and you're pulling in information from the void, maybe from a place beyond space and time. And that's how it works. And that's how this Voyage of the Titan, amongst other books, have come along and explained and prophesied events that, have yet to happen and will happen. But then this makes us think about a pretty terrifying notion. What about guys like H.P. Lovecraft? What about these horror writers who reach into the darkness and they come up with these ideas and concepts of things that exist beyond space and time? What about them? Is that all just from their mind? Or are they tying into perhaps a far more grim meat hook reality that we need to be aware of? Because it seems to me that when you write fantasy and you write horror, having done it myself, it's a far more, almost mystical experience. Because the very nature of what you're dealing with is the supernatural. This is one of those things where I kind of hope I'm wrong, because it would mean then that maybe guys like Lovecraft and others who talked about unspeakable horror beyond space and time, maybe they were onto something. So when you have a dream, or you have a vision, or you get an idea to write something down, you should probably pay attention to that. Because maybe that is more than just random thoughts.